Hello everybody, welcome back to Blues Focus TV for yet another full-time match reaction video, and I'm at a complete loss for words. I cannot believe it. Birmingham City 4, Swansea City 3 this afternoon. A game of complete mixed emotions, to be honest. Swansea took the lead multiple times. We went 1-0 up early on. They went 2-1 up. Then obviously 2-2, back to 3-2 to Swansea, and we finished the game off 4-3. A 97th minute Austin Trusty header, Djukovic making it 3-3-2 in the 91st minute. An unbelievable afternoon for Birmingham City. As I said, one of mixed emotions. Obviously fantastic to get the win. It's our first win since Reading. So a very long time coming, but as Blues fans, I am, and I'm sure you are absolutely over the moon. But Scott Hogan opened the scoring through a penalty in the 14th minute, arguably, or I say arguably, almost definitely wasn't a penalty. Redikedra running through, not really tripped up by the keeper, but the referee deemed he was. Penalty to Blues, and not the best penalty from Hogan. But not the end of the world, as it ended up in the back of the net, just went underneath the Swansea keeper's arms. Looked like he'd kept it out, but it did manage to hit the top left corner. So that put us a goal up. But then Joel Pirro did equalise not too much later to make it 1-1. It was a bit of a frustrating goal to concede. George Friend probably got spun a bit too easily, and John Ruddy beating at his near post maybe could have saved it on another day, but again, it's a shot from quite close range, about 8 yards out. Don't necessarily expect him to save it, but a slightly weak goal for me, I think, for Blues to concede there. And then not too long later, Swansea did manage to bag their second through Cullen. Poor defending, to be honest. We were just opened up far too easily. A pass from about 35 yards out, 30 yards out, and was just able to get through our defence, and then the cross ball to Cullen, and he was able to tap into an empty net. So that put us 2-1 down. But in the start of the second half, Tahith Chong did manage to make it 2-2. A nicely taken finish for Chong as well. He had a lot of time to think about it. And I think as a striker, when you have time to think about what you're going to do, it can make things very, very tricky. But did really well to slot it into the bottom left-hand corner to make it 2-2. Joel Pirro then did make it 3-2 to Swansea. And Joel Pirro always seems to score against us, doesn't he? And he did it twice today. Again, I don't want to slate John Ruddy too much for this goal. It was completely Ruddy's fault. He'll know that. He'll accept that. A really frustrating goal to concede. He's been, as I've said, superb all season. That's really his first notable mistake, apart from Rayo Vallecano in pre-season. But a long ball, just looked to clear it on the volley, completely messed it up, and Joel Pirro was simply able to tap it in. But this is where the excitement happens. We did manage to make it 3-3 in the 90th minute through Lucas Djukovic. A beautiful ball into the box by Maxime Collin, and Djukovic was able to head it in. It did take a few deflections, but we certainly don't care. A really nicely taken header. And then in the 97th minute, Blues won a corner, nicely whipped in, and Austin Trusty, he was, I won't say unmarked because there were Swansea players around him, but he had a lot of space at the front post, and was able to glance it into the bottom right corner to make it 4-3 to Blues. And that was the game. Absolutely incredible. I remember the Derby game quite a while ago now where we got two very late goals, but I don't think we've really had anything like that since. Absolutely incredible. Sadly, couldn't be at the game in Swansea today, but watching it from home was incredible. And I'm sure if you were at the game, Tommy Kelso will obviously put up his vlog later where you can see what that felt like. But to those travelling Blues fans, that must have been incredible. It was incredible watching from home, and in that away end, it must have been absolute carnage. But defensively, we weren't at our best today. Let's be honest, we conceded 3 goals. All 3 arguably pretty sloppy. And I know if you'll listen to the Blues Focus podcast, I rant and rave about how talented and how good a footballer Emmanuel Longolo is. I rate him so highly. I think he's quite underappreciated at Blues, in the fact I think a lot of people pick out his defensive criticisms and don't focus on how talented he is going forward. But he came on and he was superb today, completely changed the game. We did change to 4 at the back second half, and we did that a few weeks ago and it didn't work, but it certainly seemed to work today. And seeing Longolo play a little higher up, I think, is exactly what he's suited to. And he was superb when coming on. But as I said, defensively, weak as a back 5, got a bit stronger when we went to a back 4. Midfield-wise, we were good today. Thought Bakuna played well. Again, defensively, maybe a bit weaker, but going forward, we were obviously strong, scoring 4 goals. And then the 2 strikers, Kedra obviously came off injured, sadly, but he did manage to win us that penalty. Scott Hogan, pretty quiet today, I'll be honest. He's been quite quiet since coming back from the World Cup, really, but obviously did well to score the opening penalty. And Djukovic came on, and Djukovic has been unreal recently. Obviously, a few months ago, we were talking, does Djukovic still have a place at Blues? He wasn't really getting any game time, coming on with 5 minutes to go and not making much of an impact. But wow, after the World Cup, he's been probably the only player post-World Cup to actually improve and develop his game, and he's been nothing short of phenomenal. So superb from him. But yeah, 4-3 win to Blues. Who would have seen that coming? Absolutely incredible. We'll release a podcast in a few days talking about it if you want to check that out. And as I said, Tommy will release his vlog later on if you want to see the absolute carnage, I'm sure, that went on in the away end after that 97th minute Trusty goal. But stick with this team, Blues fans, because hopefully we can start progressing and moving forward as a club. If there's a time to do it after such a good performance like that, it's certainly now. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the game. I'm sure you did. And we'll see you against West Brom. Keep right on.